A man is reborn before the apocalypse. The first thing he does is give his sister, Liu Ruyan, a fierce scolding. This is because after the game descended upon reality in his past life, I brought Liu Ruyan along to develop with me. I finally helped her become one of the top 100 players in the world, a powerful existence admired by all. But Liu Ruyan, a star chaser, was not grateful at all. Instead, she gouged out my twin pupils while I was unprepared, and gave them to her idol. Then she abandoned me in the wilderness to fend for myself. Now, reborn and after cutting ties with Liu Ruyan, I didn't immediately seek revenge on her idol, Akuan. Instead, I returned to my room, swallowed 2 pounds of sleeping pills, and prepared to sleep. Because the game would first invade Blue Star in the form of a dream, and those who entered the virtual world first would have a certain probability of obtaining a hidden guide. Following a strong white light, I arrived at the class change hall. In my previous life, to protect Liu Ruyan, I chose the warrior class. Now, without her as a burden, I chose the assassin, the class with the highest mobility. As I made my choice, a mechanical voice sounded in my ear. Eye of Judgment has been successfully bound. Unique attribute, Scepter of Judgment. Scepter passive. When entering the divine game, you will automatically obtain the highest grade profession and talent. Before I could recover from the surprise, a stream of black energy flowed into my body. Congratulations on obtaining a hidden class. You have become a shadow. At the same time, the system also introduced the attributes of the Scepter of Judgment to me. This is the oldest primordial scepter in the universe. Its authority surpasses all rules and order. Hearing this, I was incredibly shocked. In my previous life, it wasn't until the 7th year of the Divine Game's arrival that a strong player managed to leave the godforsaken land and finally reach the land of order. Only then did humanity learn for the first time about the existence of the power of order. 20 years had passed, and still no one on Blue Star could master the power of order, and now, I had easily obtained the primordial authority that surpassed order and rules. As long as I can leave the godforsaken land and reach the land of order, I can activate the authority. I'm going to be invincible. While I was dazed, a blue input box popped up before my eyes. Please enter your game code name. Since my class is Shadow, I'll just call myself Shadow. After making my selection, I was teleported to the square of a small town. There were quite a few other players around, looking around with bewildered expressions. What's going on? I just pulled an all-nighter playing a game, and now I'm in this damned place. I ignored them. Just as I was about to go outside the city to grind monsters and level up, suddenly, a few players appeared in a flash of white light in front of me. So this is the respawn point. If you die, you get teleported back here. But the price is losing half of your real-life lifespan. A man cursed loudly. This is ridiculous. It was just a low-level mob. The 5 of us together still couldn't beat it. Li Zijia, what do we do now? The group's gazes focused on the blonde girl in the lead. If we can't beat it, we'll just find more people. Then she looked at me. Brother, you seem to have a hidden class. Want to team up with us? The monsters outside are very strong. You can't beat them alone. Our team has already been wiped out once, so we have experience now. Hearing this, I almost laughed. Experience in feeding kills? I shook my head and walked straight towards the outside of the town. Realizing she had been rejected, the blonde girl and her teammates all had grim expressions. Codename Shadow, huh? He's quite the poser. The girl sneered. Let's follow him and see how he dies. We might even get some useful information. However, I had already noticed their little scheme. Without any hesitation, I activated my skill, Shadow Stealth. Instantly, my figure seemed to merge with the surroundings, disappearing from their sight. Shadow Stealth. Enter a period of invisibility. Attacking will reveal you. The first attack out of stealth has increased damage. A moment later, I arrived in a forest. I opened my own attribute panel, and found that all my attributes were absurdly high. You have to know, in my past life, my warrior only had 3 points in strength. This shadow class actually has bonuses to all attributes. Agility is as high as 8 points, and there are 5 attribute points that can be freely allocated. In all of martial arts, only speed is unbeatable. I put everything into agility. In the early stages, no matter how you allocate points, the damage of any single monster can crush a player. Only by increasing my speed is it possible to kill monsters without taking damage. Just then, A rustling sound came from a large tree nearby. I looked towards the sound, and saw a crawler devouring a player's lifespan. This must be the one that just defeated the blonde girl's team. And just as I discovered it, it also discovered me, and rushed towards me quickly. I immediately activated Shadow Stealth. Having lost its target, the crawler acted like an AI, looking left and right. However, at this moment, I was still invisible, and had already gotten behind the crawler. Then, with a knife strike from above, I finished it off directly. This left me a bit shocked. Although attacking the back of a crawler's neck can deal critical damage, this damage was way too high. Next, I crushed the sphere of light that appeared after the crawler's death, and obtained 3 days of tradable lifespan, and 54 years and 155 days of non-tradable lifespan. Seeing this, I was a bit helpless. This crawler killed 5 people. Combined, they should have had at least 100 years of lifespan. I didn't expect it to only drop 54 years. However, non-tradable lifespan is temporarily useless. Without tradable lifespan, you can't extract equipment, skills, or classes into reality. Just then, the Scepter of Judgment unexpectedly granted me the talent Infinite Evolution. When killing monsters in a solo state, there is a chance to obtain evolution points. Furthermore, you can automatically gain 5 evolution points every 24 hours. In a solo state, killing a boss-level monster will grant evolution points 100% of the time. Current evolution points, 5. Seeing this, I was incredibly excited. Truly a power that surpasses order. Afterward, I put all the points into Shadow Stealth and Backstab. Backstab's damage was enhanced from 10% to 15%. Shadow Stealth's duration increased from 16 seconds to 32 seconds, with a 26-second cooldown. With such a long invisibility duration now, I could already achieve permanent invisibility. Even against a full health crawler, I could kill it in one hit. Just then, a young couple walked over. At a glance, they saw the crawler's corpse next to me. Looks like this game isn't that hard. Haha, baby, don't be afraid. If any monsters show up, I'll carry you and slaughter them. While they were flirting, I activated invisibility without any hesitation, because above his head, a giant spider was rapidly descending from the trees. Before the man could react, he was instantly killed by the spider. This wasn't an ordinary mob, it was a bronze-tier mini-boss, the Broodmother. Its health was around 1,600. It was completely beyond what a typical newcomer could handle, but it was a good opportunity to test my upgraded skills, and see how powerful they were. A flash of cold light, shadow break. One strike directly pierced one of the Broodmother's eyes, suddenly suffering a heavy blow. The Broodmother's hundreds of compound eyes instantly locked onto me. It entered a frenzied state, and began to attack its surroundings indiscriminately, searching for me, and releasing a large number of small spiders. But I had already activated invisibility, and was hiding behind a large tree. It was obvious I couldn't get close now. Then, I grabbed a rock from the ground, and threw it hard at the spider. A string of 299 damage appeared on it. As expected, my main source of damage is the Shadow Break from Shadow Stealth, the bonus attack, and the enhancement from my class skills. So even if I just throw a rock and hit the enemy, the damage won't be low. I just had to wait for Shadow Stealth to cool down, then throw a rock, and the rock would trigger the Shadow Break strike, enhanced by the weak spot attack effect. Just like that, I finally wore down and killed the Broodmother. At the same time, in the minds of all the players in the newbie town, a system notification sounded simultaneously. Player Shadow has killed the Broodmother and is the first to reach level 2. The level ranking board is now open. At this moment, all the players in the town were stunned. What's going on? Lizijia, this Shadow, is that the guy who went out alone just now, right? He's already level 2 so quickly. We can't even kill a normal mob in a team. He can solo a bronze boss. He must be cheating. The young couple from just now were also doubting their existence. They were powerless against that giant spider, and someone had actually managed to kill it. Moreover, seeing only one name on the ranking board, the two of them had to guess it was likely a solo kill. This shocked them even more. At the same time, the system notified me that I had gained 1 prestige point, 46 days of tradable lifespan, and the skill book, Hand of Greed. After learning it, it can be used on monster corpses. There is a 20% chance to obtain an extra piece of loot. I never thought a bronze boss would drop this god-tier assassin skill. Although this skill only has a 20% chance, if paired with my infinite evolution talent, wouldn't the probability, and even the quantity of drops, be infinitely increased? Meanwhile, in the real world, in Liu Ruyan's classroom, a crowd had gathered. A boy in the class was asleep, slumped over his desk, but strangely, his body had become semi-transparent and ethereal, and all over the world, similar cases were appearing sporadically. Countless speculations had already spread across the internet. But since no one had woken up from their sleep yet, nobody knew what was happening. At the same time, in the game world, I had already evolved Hand of Greed to the 70% gold level. Then, I faced the crawler's corpse in front of me, and cast Hand of Greed, obtained 2 evolution points, and 46 days of tradable lifespan. I was shocked. If I evolve it just one more time, Hand of Greed will have a 100% chance of granting extra loot. However, by now, countries around the world should have discovered the problem. More and more people will soon flood into the game. I need to speed up my progress. Just then, the sound of fighting came from ahead. Hiding in the shadows, I followed the sound and looked. I saw a dasher chasing a team of players. The leader of that team was a burly, stout man, wielding a low-quality shield, blocking the dasher's attacks while retreating. It was the second-ranked player in Shell Town, codename Wang Mang. Behind him, there were 5 players with hidden classes, attacking the dasher with grim expressions, casting their skills. Unfortunately, whether it was the archer or the mage, the attacks from those 2 male and female ranged classes could hardly hit the dasher. The dasher darted left and right, and with its rotten claws and sharp fangs, it quickly reduced Wang Mang's health by half. He immediately ordered the priest in the team to heal him, while the others continued attacking to wear down the boss. But he forgot that this was a battle in the wild. If it dragged on too long, it would easily attract other monsters. As the battle reached a stalemate, other monsters appeared from the nearby forest. The polluter is a level 2 normal monster. Its body is covered in dark brown sludge, and it uses ranged attacks. Boss, be careful. A man in the team charged forward with his sword, but it only dealt negligible damage to it. Then the polluter began to spit out foul-smelling sludge from its mouth. Oh no, it's a debuff. Movement speed slowed. For a moment, Wang Mang's group of 6 was in peril, their entire team's health dropping rapidly. I narrowed my eyes, observing this team. At the critical moment, I decisively chose to act. With just one strike, I killed a polluter. This directly shocked the people in their team. Who was that? Someone is helping us. They only saw a black figure flash past, and the polluter instantly fell. Wang Mang's expression was grave. Don't get distracted, keep fighting. Nearly half a minute later, I appeared behind another polluter, and killed it instantly again. Obtained 40 experience points. Obtained 1 evolution point. Obtained the skill book Venomous Dart, as well as 8 days of tradable lifespan. Venomous Dart. Throw a poisonous dart. Maximum range of 12. Deals 40 additional attack damage on hit, and applies a potent poison effect. Cooldown 5 seconds. Potent poison. Deals 30% of attack power as damage per second. No weak spot bonus. Lasts 5 seconds. Does not stack. After reading the skill description, I was extremely excited. Finally, a ranged attack skill has arrived, and at that moment, the sound of flesh being pierced came from nearby. Then a scream rang out. The priest in the team was constantly casting healing spells on him, but the effect was limited. Wang Mang's health bar was still inching closer to the bottom. Just then, I went invisible and appeared behind the boss, the dasher. As the dasher was about to attack Wang Mang, I directly launched a venomous dart, accurately hitting its head. Wang Mang and the others were tense, but then they saw the dasher's health bar visibly drop by a large chunk. After throwing a few more darts, the dasher didn't even have a chance to struggle before it fell directly. Your damage contribution has reached over 90%. The loot belongs to you. You have killed the dasher. Bronze tier. You have gained 600 experience points. Congratulations on leveling up to level 3. Congratulations, you have gained 2 evolution points. You have obtained 55 days of lifespan. Tradable. I never thought the venomous darts, damage over time, could also trigger my class passive. Paired with shadow stealth, I can stay invisible and throw darts indefinitely. In the early and mid-game, no monster will be a match for me. I invisibly approached the Dasher's corpse, and directly used Hand of Greed on it. Obtained 3 evolution points, 55 days of tradable lifespan, and Dasher's leather leggings. Physical defense +9, all elemental resistance +5, cooldown speed +15%, and in the eyes of Wang Mang and his team of 6, this scene appeared incredibly bizarre. They didn't even see a shadow, but the loot next to the boss's corpse suddenly vanished. Friend, thank you so much. Wang Mang looked serious and earnest as he cupped his fist at the empty air. He sincerely said thank you. I spoke faintly, my voice seeming to come from all directions. Don't trust others so easily in the wild. This made Wang Mang's expression turn solemn. I understand. Thank you for the reminder. Then we'll be on our way. We won't disturb you while you're checking your equipment, Master. My name is Wang Mang. If you need any help in the future, Master, feel free to find me. I stood invisibly nearby, observing this team. In my past life, this Wang Mang was a small fan of mine. At that time, I was a top 100 powerhouse in the world. Although I was at the bottom of the top 100, after all, I was just a normal warrior class. Achieving this was already a legendary existence. Countless people looked up to me as their idol, and Wang Mang was one of them. And the Dasha government he represented had enough resources. I happened to be lacking a stable sales channel. I can sell things I don't need to him in the future. I continued deeper into the forest to grind monsters. Soon, I had cleared all the monsters in the nearby area. I finally saved up 5 evolution points. Then, I put all the points into Hand of Greed. After a flash of golden light, Hand of Greed was successfully upgraded to the Emerald level. It now had a 160% chance to obtain extra loot, and also a 20% chance for the loot's quality to be upgraded by 1 tier. I smiled with satisfaction at this. Just then, the ground began to shake. A huge monster was passing by me. It was the bronze tier boss, the Cursor. It looked like it was digesting lifespan, evolving towards a silver tier boss. I was about to make a move, but I found that my backpack was already full. Even if I killed it, I wouldn't be able to carry the loot, so I could only place a marker on the map for now. Soon, I returned to the small town, ready to clear out the useless things in my backpack. The moment I opened the stall function, I immediately attracted everyone around. He's wearing 2 pieces of bronze equipment, and he's selling 2 more. Did he kill a bronze tier boss? Is this the number 1 ranked player, Shadow? I had anticipated this situation long ago. The first thing I did when I got back to town was to activate the face hiding function. In the Divine game, a player's appearance is the same as in reality and cannot be changed once my identity is exposed. With my current status as number 1 in the newbie town, trouble would definitely come knocking. It could even lead to my death. Soon, a woman wearing a grey robe walked over with her teammates. How much for this Ice Spike skill book? Like me, she had also activated the face hiding function. If I remember correctly, she should be the current 11th ranked player in Shell Town, Grey Rose. 100 days of tradable lifespan. Hearing this price, Grey Rose immediately looked troubled. 100 days, that's too much. I can't afford it. Can you make it cheaper? I shook my head, too lazy to speak. The normal grade skill Ice Spike can greatly increase a mage's early game farming speed. 100 days is already very cheap. Can I use cash? If you have a lot of cash, you can buy lifespan from others first, then trade with me. If no one offers a higher price, I can hold the item for you. After hearing this, she took her teammates aside. She started discussing with them in the team channel. Soon, they reached an agreement. Then, she took out 100 days of lifespan to buy the Ice Spike skill book. At the same time, a system notification. You have sold Ice Spike. Obtained 100 days of tradable lifespan. Tradable lifespan balance, 368 days. Just as the transaction was completed, suddenly, a few people rudely pushed through the crowd and rushed in front of me. It was the blonde girl from the team at the beginning, codename Li Zijie. She looked down at me sitting on the edge of the flower bed and then arrogantly said, "I'll give you a chance. Just get me to level 3. After we return to reality, I'll give you 10 million renminbi. My dad is the chairman of Dajiang Industries. You don't have to worry about me not being able to pay." The people around were shocked. This is too good to be true. For a master like Shadow, power leveling someone to level 3 must be easy. However, to everyone's surprise, I refused without hesitation, because In my previous life, this woman was the leader of a criminal syndicate. Later, the syndicate was wiped out by the officials. The report said she used cash to buy tradable lifespan, and had many people working illegally for her, as a cover for kidnapping. Those who disobeyed were killed in reality. Even if you get 10 million, you have to be alive to spend it. What's more, cash will soon become useless in this world. My attitude, however, stunned Jiang Li. Shadow, although you're strong in this game, no one knows what this game is all about right now. If you follow me, I guarantee you'll live a life of luxury. Cars, houses, women, you can have anything. I waved my hand. If you're not buying, move aside. Don't interfere with my business. Jiang Li had never been treated like this before. She immediately started cursing at me. I looked up, not hiding, the killing intent in my eyes, which immediately terrified her. She could only flee with her teammates in disgrace. 2.5 minutes later, I finally finished trading all my items. Tradable lifespan balance increased to 546 days. And the virtual lifespan in the game can be exchanged for skills. In the real world, just now, after I cleared my backpack, I obtained 300 years of tradable lifespan. Calculating the time, the cursor at this point should have already advanced to silver tier. In an invisible state, I quickly rushed towards the cursor's location. Soon, I arrived at the place where I had seen the cursor before. As expected, the boss had already advanced to silver tier, and it was shrouded in grey mist, clearly still evolving, but the evolution from silver to gold would take at least 7 or 8 hours. I can't wait. I decided to act. There will be plenty of gold bosses later. There's no need to waste time here. Killing the boss and getting stronger quickly is the top priority. I invisibly flashed behind the cursor, aimed at its weak spot, and forcefully threw a venomous dart. It directly hit the boss's throat. The cursor was instantly hit hard. I immediately turned invisible and pulled away, because the cursor had already turned around, and its withered, thin arms had already gathered a ball of grey elemental energy. The grey elemental energy swirled and gathered in its hands, then expanded. A large area of effect attack with a diameter of over 20 meters instantly erupted, obliterating everything around it. If hit by this power, one would lose at least half their life. Fortunately, I was invisible the whole time and far away from the boss, so I wasn't in any danger. By the time my shadow stealth cooled down, the cursor seemed a bit tired. After casting its skill more than 10 times in a row, its mana was running low, and I was waiting for this moment. The moment it revealed an opening, the dart hit its head again. After 2 venomous darts, the health bar above the boss's head had gradually decreased to only 1/3 remaining. The cursor couldn't find my location, and could only frantically move deeper into the dense forest. A withered and thin cursor, with long, thin hands hanging down to its knees, was running at its fastest speed. If this scene were seen by other players, I wonder what their expressions would be. A boss that had already evolved to silver tier was actually being hunted by a newbie player. After waiting for the skill to cool down, I acted again and finished off the boss. Then I used Hand of Greed on the boss's corpse. The rewards were doubled. Obtained 3,600 experience points. Obtained 12 evolution points. 372 days of tradable lifespan. With a large amount of experience points gained, I jumped directly from level 3 to level 5. Just then, a golden light flashed from under the boss's corpse. This triggered the extra effect of the Emerald tier Hand of Greed, a 20% chance to upgrade the extra loot by 1 tier. It dropped a gold tier item. Awesome. But looking at the 7 or 8 pieces of loot under the boss's corpse, I felt a bit frustrated. My backpack only has 10 slots now. I can't just run back after killing one boss, can I? That would be too much of a waste of time. I hope this cursor drops a storage ring or something for me. Full of anticipation, I reached for the pile of loot under the boss's corpse, and just as I killed the silver tier boss, the newbie town instantly erupted. Everyone stared in shock at the system announcement, jumping from level 3 directly to level 5. What kind of powerful boss did he kill? I just saw the master selling equipment more than 10 minutes ago, and is already leveled up twice so quickly. This is too ridiculous. On the other side, in the center of the town, Wang Mang's team of 6 finally reached level 3. They subconsciously glanced at the ranking board. My god. The sharp-eyed archer in the team cursed. We just reached level 3, and that master is already level 5. Is he even letting others live? Wang Mang was also in a daze, but he quickly shook his head. Let's not think about that for now. Let's each return to reality first, and inform our relatives and friends about the divine game. The world is likely to fall into chaos. At the very least, we need to let our loved ones be prepared. At this time, at Jiangkai City Normal University, Liu Ruyan, who had returned to her dorm to rest, also learned about the divine game. Liu Ruyan glanced at her phone. She had thought that at most, in 2 days, I would come to apologize to her like before. However, until now, there was no news from me at all. This made Liu Ruyan more and more annoyed. Previously, whenever I got angry, he would find ways to coax me. But now, not only did he not coax me, he even hit me. Even my parents have never hit me. I just skipped class to go to Brother Song Fei's concert. Damn you, Qingfeng. This time, if you don't kowtow to me 1,000 times, I won't forgive you. But luckily, I went to see Brother Song Fei yesterday. The thought of Song Fei made Liu Ruyan feel sweet. At the start of the concert, Song Fei's words, "I missed you all," made Liu Ruyan savor the moment until now. I wonder when Brother Song Fei will enter the divine game. With my brother's strength, he must be very strong in the game too, right? In the previous life, because of the appearance of the divine game, I personally went to the school to find Liu Ruyan. I apologized and begged, and only then did she agree to enter the game with me. But in this life, apologize? In your dreams. Just then, Liu Ruyan's phone dinged. She picked it up and looked. It was her classmate, Zhong Wei, who had actually reached level 3 and come out of the divine game. Liu Ruyan was a bit surprised. To reach level 3 now, he must be a master. Then she picked up her phone and tagged Zhong Wei in the WeChat group. Master Zhong Wei, do you have any strategies you can teach us? The praise from all her classmates made Zhong Wei a bit carried away, especially Liu Ruyan's comment, which filled Zhong Wei's heart with joy. Usually, Liu Ruyan's attitude was quite high and mighty. Zhong Wei wasn't Liu Ruyan's simp, but there was no reason to refuse a girl who came to him. So Zhong Wei directly started a private chat with Liu Ruyan, bragging to her. Also, let me tell you a secret. When you enter the game, put all your initial attribute points into agility. Otherwise, if you're not fast enough, you'll be crushed by the monsters. So it's that simple. Liu Ruyan suddenly felt that this game was nothing special. Liu Ruyan thought of me, and sneered inwardly. He still hasn't come to apologize to me. I've really given him too much face. Then she happily prepared to go to sleep. At this time, some of the top officials in Jiangkai City were all gathered together. After hearing the report from Wang Mang, one of the officials frowned and said, "Wang Mang, according to you, that shadow was already level 3 half an hour ago. Then why didn't he return to reality? Could it be that he has no family in reality? He doesn't need to inform his family?" Wang Mang shook his head, saying he didn't know. Could this shadow be a transmigrator? Aren't transmigrators usually orphans, who then quickly rise to power? The crowd was stunned and looked over in unison. They saw a pretty policewoman in an elegant uniform, with a naturally dazed look on her face. A department head official sighed. "And you? I've told you to read fewer novels. Don't make such jokes in such a serious setting." The policewoman stuck out her tongue and fell silent. The officials continued to discuss matters concerning Shadow. From Wang Mang's description, this Shadow's personality doesn't seem bad. Although he seems a bit eccentric, the fact that he saved Wang Mang and his team shows he's not a bad person. The officials discussed for a moment, and quickly made a decision. They assigned Wang Mang and An Yu to be responsible for befriending that Shadow in the game. First, to understand Shadow's personality. Second, to find out Shadow's real identity as much as possible. Third, to establish a cooperation with Shadow on behalf of the government. At the same time, I, in the game world, was reaping a great harvest. From this silver tier cursor, I not only obtained 12 evolution points, but also 372 days of tradable lifespan, and it even dropped a piece of gold equipment, Curse Ring. Usable by all classes. All stats +8, all elemental resistance +26. An all stats ring. Next, I looked at a silver tier skill book dropped by the cursor. Instant shadow slash, assassin skill. Blink in a direction, up to 15 meters away, and enter an invisible state. lasting 5 seconds. I took the skill book in my hand and learned it directly. Then, I put the remaining 8 evolution points all into Hand of Greed, successfully. Hand of Greed evolved from Emerald to Diamond level. Attribute: probability of getting an extra piece of loot increased from 160% to 220%. The probability of the extra loot being upgraded increased from 20% to 40%. Looking at the effect of the skill upgrade, I took a sharp breath. Now every time I kill a monster, I'm guaranteed to get 2 extra pieces of loot. Killing 1 monster is like others killing 3. There's even a 20% chance for 3 extra rewards, and a 40% chance to upgrade the quality by 1 tier. It's getting more and more broken. Just then, a noise came from the nearby forest. I turned to look. In the shadows of the forest not far away, 3 rotten grafted crawlers were pouncing towards me. A perfect chance to test the power of instant shadow slash. In just a breath's time, the 3 grafted crawlers each received 2 slashes, and were instantly killed on the spot. I now have 618 days of tradable lifespan, but to extract equipment and skills to reality, the required tradable lifespan is at least 2.5 years. Or to be precise, 900 days. After putting all the items into my backpack, I first activated the teleportation portal in the plaza's basement. However, the starter town's teleportation array is a 2-way activation. A single teleportation array is useless. Someone from another town must also reach level 5 and light up their teleportation array to be able to teleport to each other. Then I returned to Shell Town and set up a stall again. Originally, around this broken flower bed, there were many others setting up stalls. But upon my appearance, everyone gathered around, because among the things I was selling, many had quality tiers. At this stage, many players can only farm normal mobs, but can't kill bosses. They have no way to obtain high-tier equipment and skill books. Buying from me is currently the only way. The master is finally here. I've saved up 150 days of lifespan, just waiting for the master to sell his things. Soon. In less than a minute, I had sold all the items. This time, the items combined sold for a total of 650 days of tradable lifespan. Now, my tradable lifespan has reached 2,174 days. It's still not enough to extract all my divine game attributes and skills into reality. I'm still far from it. Just then, a red-haired girl walked over holding a ring. It was the hidden class from Wang Mang's team. The prophet girl with the codename Hybulin Da Lizzie. Master, I have what you need. Seeing this, I was a bit surprised. This is a spatial ring, a special storage item. It doesn't take up a backpack slot, which means it's extra storage space. Although any monster could potentially drop this, the drop rate is extremely low. In my past life, a single spatial ring could sell for at least 10 years of tradable lifespan. How do you plan to sell it? Hybulin Da Lizzie said mysteriously. I don't want your lifespan, master. I just want to add you as a friend, master. Also, I'd like to ask you, master, to team up with us to kill a boss. I thought for a moment and sent a friend request to the girl. After chatting with her for a while, I quickly learned the situation. It turns out that after Wang Mang went offline, this pretty girl got a bit bored and wandered around farming monsters. As a result, she found a gold tier boss on a swamp. What's the name of that gold tier boss? Hybulin Da Lizzie shook her head. I was too far away to see clearly, but the gold tier health bar was very obvious. It was on a boat in a swamp. It looked very dilapidated. I nodded. It should be the Golden Ghost Ship. The appearance rate of this boss is extremely low, and it drops very useful special items. Every time the Golden Ghost Ship appeared, various guilds would break out into a fierce battle for it. The Golden Ghost Ship that appears in a newbie town should be level 5. This level of the Golden Ghost Ship is the easiest to kill. I can help you fight it. If the boss drops equipment and skill books you can use, I can give them to you. How about all the other things go to me? Then let's do as you say. But can I make a small request? If it drops equipment for Captain Wang Mang and the others, can you sell it to them at a slight discount? I readily agreed. The pretty girl nodded. Okay. Then let's set off when the captain and the others come online. No need to wait, just take me there now. I can kill it by myself. As soon as these words were spoken, the girl was stunned. Master, you're an assassin. I'm a mage. Why you can go invisible, but I can't take its hits. I'm enough by myself. You just watch from a safe place. Then I went invisible and disappeared from my spot. A few seconds later, I had retreated tens of meters into the forest. I saw 5 players who were following me. At this moment, these people thought I had abandoned the red-haired girl to take the treasure for myself. Let's go grab that little chick. We can play with her first. I told you, follow me, and you'll eat well and drink well. See? A woman just showed up. Just as they were about to make a move, a bright light flashed, and the several followers were instantly killed on the spot. Unfortunately, these guys were as weak as AI. The rewards from killing them were even less than from farming wild monsters. The 5 of them only dropped 12 days of tradable lifespan. I'll just treat it as killing a couple of mobs. I returned to the girl's side. Master, where did you go just now? A few people were following us. I sent them back to town. Oh, I thought you went to take a leak, Master. By the way, Master, with your invisibility skill, it must be very convenient to go to the bathroom. You can relieve yourself anytime, anywhere, and no one will see. No, wait. If the poop leaves your body, it should become visible, right? Or, let's hurry and find the boss you mentioned. I followed Lin Liu to a cliff. Below the small cliff, which was more than 10 meters high, was a swamp filled with grey mist. A broken boat, shimmering with a golden yellow light, was moving slowly. It really is the golden ghost ship. I suppressed the excitement in my heart. Then I told Lin Liu to wait by the cliff's edge. I would go down alone to deal with this boss. The moment I stepped into the swamp area, a system notification immediately sounded in my mind. Due to the influence of the ghost ship, this area has become a frenzied area. This swamp currently has a 100x lifespan drain rate. In other words, in this frenzied area, staying for about 15 minutes will consume a full day's lifespan. Of course, this kind of temporary frenzied area isn't a big deal. I continued towards the center of the swamp. Soon, the fog dispersed like clouds, and a dilapidated ghost ship nearly 5 meters long appeared before me. Golden ghost ship. Level 5. Quality Gold. Special existence. Countdown 45 minutes 25 seconds. This kind of special boss has a time limit on its appearance. It will only exist in one place for a certain period of time, but 45 minutes is enough for me to take down this golden ghost ship. A series of 5 damage numbers instantly popped up from the ghost ship. The ghost ship's weak point is not the holes in the ship, but that golden bell. When its weak point is attacked, it will control the surrounding water and launch a large-scale area attack. Unless you're a warrior with a full set of silver equipment, you won't be able to withstand the attack at all. I relied on the assassin's high mobility to dodge from a distance away from the ghost ship. After repeated eruptions of water pillars, and once the area attack ended, rotten water gowls were summoned from the swamp. A total of 12 of them. Each one had the combat power of a silver boss. And killing these rotten water gowls gives no rewards whatsoever. This is what makes the golden ghost ship boss so disgusting. If you don't kill the water gowls, the golden ghost ship will summon 12 rotten water gowls every 3 minutes. If they're not dealt with in time, the number of rotten water gowls will keep increasing, leading to an eventual team wipe. But for me, I was in an invisible state the whole time. I just need to find the right angle to wipe them out. I was dodging skills while opening a private chat with Lin Liu. Xiao Hei, I'm going to die in a bit. Don't worry about anything. Just wait for me to respawn where you are. Hearing this private message, Lin Liu was a bit dumbfounded. Why, Master, aren't you at a complete advantage right now? Also, who is Xiao Hei? Aren't you Xiao Hei? Lin Liu almost broke down. Master, my ID is Hybulin Da Lizzie, not Xiao Hei. That sounds like a dog's name. I closed the private chat window and kept dodging the various water element attacks released by the golden ghost ship. By the time I got the boss down to half health, about 10 minutes had passed. I could only find a chance to attack roughly every 2 minutes. When the golden ghost ship's health was down to half, the ghost fire bell on the bow suddenly rang. An invisible soul wave spread out in all directions. Being touched by this soul wave, I was immediately rooted for 5 seconds. Even though I was in an invisible state, I was knocked out of it by this soul wave. The next moment, a violent burst of water erupted from under my feet. You have died. You have lost 326 years of lifespan, non-tradable. You have died. You have lost 1087 days of lifespan, tradable. At the same time, a few players had followed me here, and happened to see the moment I was instantly killed. It was the stalkers I had killed earlier, who had respawned and wanted revenge. Ha 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 ha. Heaven is truly on my side. This idiot is so arrogant. He actually dared to solo a gold tier boss. Brothers, let's go. Let's take over the boss, and pick up the lifespan that Shadow dropped. Such a large grey-white sphere of light. It must be at least several hundred days of tradable lifespan. Tainan led his underlings and charged directly towards the golden ghost ship. However, they soon stopped laughing. In the swamp, there were a total of 30 to 40 silver tier rotten water gowls. They were wiped out on the spot. At this moment, back in the town, Tainan and his subordinates were all dumbfounded. Damn it, how is this boss so fierce? How on earth did that Shadow get it down to half health? He must be cheating. Tainan's face was grim. Their losses this time were too great. According to Tainan's theory, dying and losing some non-tradable lifespan was not a problem. The key was to become strong enough before the non-tradable lifespan ran out. But this time, they had just purely fed. Let's go again. Under the surprised gazes of many people in Shell Town, he led his team out again. This abnormal behavior immediately attracted the attention of others. At this point, it was rare to see so many people get wiped out together. So, other people started following them towards that swamp. And at this time, I had revived and returned to the swamp. Looking at the pile of lifespan orbs on the ground, I was a bit confused. What's the situation here? Master, you're back so fast. Just now, a group of people saw you get eliminated, and rushed right in. Only to get wiped out. They really overestimated themselves. Although the golden ghost ship only casts its routing skill once, it's even harder to deal with now at half health, because it has a large area of effect attack skill, and with my current stats, if I get caught in it, it's a one-way ticket to death. But for me, this thing is easy to dodge. When the boss had a quarter of its health left, that group of people finally arrived with reinforcements. They looked at the lifespan orbs scattered throughout the swamp, and immediately wanted to rush in and steal the boss. But as he stepped into the swamp, a bolt of lightning suddenly flew out from the forest, and landed on several of them, chaining to several others around him. This directly stunned Tainan. T. Who the hell dares to hit me? Boss, look over there. It's that mage. Brothers, get her. The discovered Lin Liu immediately turned and ran, and at this time, I finally killed the boss. My damage is still too low. After fighting for so long, I've attracted many players who are spying in the dark. Looks like they're waiting for me to kill the boss and then come to be the mantis stalking the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. Unfortunately, they've miscalculated. At the same time, all Divine Game players received an announcement. Player Shadow from Shell Town has first killed a gold tier boss, obtained 3 prestige points. This announcement was broadcast 3 times, leaving all Divine Game players, both domestic and foreign, in a state of daze and shock. First kill of a gold boss. Holy crap, what the hell is this Shadow? He's so strong. I can't even beat a single mob. And he's killing a gold tier boss. Which country's starter town is Shell Town? First killing a gold tier boss? He must be a powerhouse from our great nation of Korea, Snida. Looking at the loot scattered all over the ground, before I could even pick it up, the players who had been spying in the dark could no longer hold back. Ah Guang, forget it. Let's find that guy and kill him. We'll take all the loot from the gold boss for ourselves. Immediately after, the archer in the team named Adong stepped out. He drew his bow and shot a faint blue arrow shadow. Waves of light blue energy spread outwards. This energy wave can reveal invisible targets. According to these guys' plan, they could easily find me and then kill me. Unfortunately, my shadow class, combined with my invisibility level, is not something a level 1 detection skill can break. Boss, there's no one. That kid probably got scared off by our numbers. Serves him right. The young man in the lead sneered and raised his hand. Don't be careless. Be ready for battle at any time. The ownership of the boss's loot is protected for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, all this loot will be mine. However, just as they felt victory was in their grasp, a blade flashed. Suddenly, there were 12 more grey-white lifespan orbs, much quieter now. But where did that girl Lin Liu go? I searched all around but couldn't see anyone. Looking at the 13 evolution points on my attribute panel, I decided to evolve Hand of Greed first. Successfully upgraded from Diamond to Epic. The probability of the obtained loot being upgraded by 1 tier increased directly from 80% to 100%. Am I invincible now? My breathing quickened at this moment. Without another word, I gathered all the orbs and crushed them. Obtained 21 evolution points. You have obtained 600 days of tradable lifespan. Obtained special item, Ghostfire Bell. When carried, you will not drop lifespan upon death. This effect has a cooldown of 1800 seconds. Passive skill, Soul Absorption. Lifespan dropped when killing monsters is increased by 40%. Active skill, Soul Shake. Shake the Ghostfire Bell to inflict a 3-second root effect on all enemies within a 100-meter radius. Cooldown, 600 seconds. Just then, Xiaohei's voice suddenly came from behind. Help! Xiaohei, where are you? And at this moment, Xiaohei had been cornered to a cliff by Tainan and his group. Helpless, she could only jump off the cliff to start over. Then she sent me a message telling me not to come and save her. She had already returned to the town. But fortunately, she had left her tradable lifespan with Wang Mang, so her loss from this death was not significant. Then I comforted her a bit more. Wait for me in town. I'll give you something when I get back. This was quite a profitable run. Tradable lifespan, 3,115 days. I used the 21 evolution points directly on instant shadow slash and backstab, these two main damage skills. Higher damage means I can take on stronger bosses. I continued to check the other loot. A platinum tier ghost ship twin blades. Attack power plus 136. Agility plus 22. Attack speed plus 24%. Passive, armor break. Unique effect, each normal attack deals damage twice. This effect isn't very useful. After all, I mainly use skills for output, but this weapon's base attack power is high enough. And it also adds 22 points of agility. I directly equipped this weapon. Next, I checked the next piece of equipment, Ghostfire leather tunic. Physical defense plus 25. Fire elemental resistance plus 50. Damage block plus 10 charges. Health plus 419. My current health is only 350 points. This tunic directly adds 419 points. Now I've become a tanky assassin. Next was a skill book, Ghostly Blur. Passive, gain 15% evasion rate. Triggering evasion makes you immune to all damage. Finally, a survival skill for assassins has arrived. Evasion builds are not mainstream in the Divine game, because the evasion rate is generally hard to stack. Even with 50% evasion, it's still easy to die. But for me, who can infinitely evolve skills, this isn't a problem. While increasing evasion, I won't be sacrificing my other attributes. After sorting out the items, I turned and left the swamp, heading back towards Shell Town. Unexpectedly, I ran into Tainan and his group on the way. It scared them so badly they were pissing their pants. Some even started calling me daddy. While cleaning up these AI-like players, the system prompted that due to killing too many players, I had gained 1 stack of the Slayer negative status. Slayer Tier 1, upon death, drop 75% of current lifespan. Slayer Tier 2, upon death, drop 87.5% of current lifespan. However, I have the Ghostfire Bell. Even if I accidentally die, I won't drop any lifespan, soon. Under the envious, jealous, and hateful gazes of countless people, I arrived at the central plaza of the town. A pale, sallow-faced, high, lifespan young man blocked my way. It was the same guy from before, the leader of the team with the shadow break. Skill, Ghostly Footprints, who wanted to snatch the golden ghost ship's loot, but ended up getting his whole group killed by me. Big Brother Shadow, I'm so sorry. This is an assassin skill book we just bought with our pooled lifespan. Please accept it. Let's just pretend nothing happened, okay? This surprised me a little. It was a trash skill book, but there's no reason to refuse a free gift. I casually took the skill book and said it was fine. However, what I didn't know was that, as I was leaving, a hint of malice appeared in the eyes of the sallow-faced, high lifespan young man. So what if you're strong in the divine game? As long as I find you in reality, I can imprison you. and make you a slave to collect lifespan for me. I'll have the family send a woman over to try and get his information. After all, in the Jianghai city circle, he was a well-known rich second-generation kid. Just now, Shadow's voice sounded unfamiliar. He's definitely not from the circle. That means this guy is a poor slob. If a professional beauty offers herself to him, I don't believe he won't fall for it. And at this moment, I had already found Lin Liu. Here, I casually tossed out a gold-tier mage skill book and a piece of gold-tier mage equipment. Lin Liu's mind went blank. These two pieces of equipment are so awesome. My damage has more than tripled, and my mana recovery has more than doubled. Master, thank you so much. Lin Liu's beautiful eyes were filled with surprise. She almost cried from being so moved. You're welcome. As agreed, give me the spatial ring. Oh right, Master. Just now, when I was running away in the forest, I found a cave. It looks like an entrance to a ruin. Are you interested? A ruin entrance? I was a bit surprised. There was a saying before that this Lin Liu is a lucky koi. Now it seems to be true. First, the golden ghost ship, and now a ruin entrance. Befriending this girl is really worth it. Of course, sincerity is a two-way street. If I hadn't given her any equipment just now, she probably wouldn't have told me about this ruin entrance. I put the spatial ring on the little finger of my left hand. My storage space is finally 27 slots. I breathed a sigh of relief. The backpack slots in this divine game are extremely limited. With 27 slots, everything is much more convenient. Wang Mang and the others haven't come online yet. After I sell the items to you guys, I'll go to the ruin you mentioned. Lin Liu was very excited. She took out a rolled-up sheepskin map from her backpack and marked a location. This is the entrance to that ruin. It's a stone slab on the ground. I was originally going to move the slab and hide inside, but I had just gone in a few steps when I heard ghostly screams from inside, and I got scared and ran out. I memorized the location. I entered an invisible state and left Shell Town again. The ruins that appear in the starter towns are mainly of three types: tombs, cursed ruins, and faith temples. No matter which type of ruin it is, even the mobs are at least bronze tier, or even silver tier. I remained in an invisible state, and went to the place Lin Liu had marked. After moving the stone slab, a downward staircase appeared. It was dark all around, with only a faint yellow light coming from ahead. I looked at the stone walls on both sides of the passage in shock. These murals on the stone walls, how are they exactly the same as the faith temple from my past life? This is the faith temple of the judgment god. It shares the same origin as the eye of judgment I possess. Ghostly screams echoed from deep within the passage, like weeping and wailing. I continued walking forward, and just as I was exploring this mysterious faith temple, Liu Ruyan had successfully infiltrated Wang Mang's group, with a healer class player joining. The team members were initially quite happy, but then, her performance made her teammates so angry they wanted to kill her. When a teammate was being beaten by a boss, Liu Ruyan, as the team's healer, was so scared she just froze in place and screamed, not even knowing how to cast a skill. When the boss charged over, she actually dropped her staff, covered her face, and continued to scream. After respawning, the faces of the few people who returned to the town instantly darkened. Fortunately, Lin Liu ran over at this moment, breaking the atmosphere. Captain, why are you back so soon? Hearing this, the warrior in the team couldn't hold back any longer, and pointed at Liu Ruyan, letting out a stream of complaints. *T, I'm seriously impressed. I've never seen someone as stupid as you. When you see a monster, you don't even know how to cast a skill. Your only output is screaming. Tell me, what use are you? Lin Liu, not understanding the situation, quickly stood in front of Liu Ruyan to protect her. Hey, why are you being so fierce? She's obviously a newbie. It's normal to die once when you're playing a game for the first time. At this moment, the archer in the team couldn't help but step out to explain. Lizzie, it wasn't just once. We died 3 times in less than an hour. Hearing this, Lin Liu was also a bit stunned. Then she confidently showed off a necklace. Look, this is a good item I just got from Master Shadow. My strength has improved by more than just a little. If I go with you guys, we'll definitely succeed. Wang Mang also stepped forward to act as a peacemaker. Liu Ruyan apologized with a sincere expression. I'm sorry. I'll try harder. But in her heart, She was already cursing. "You're the one who's not good enough, and you're blaming me. If it weren't for the fact that you can connect with Master Shadow, I wouldn't be bothering with you guys. A bunch of idiots." And at this moment, I had already arrived at the main hall of the temple. Inside the hall, besides two humanoid monsters bowing down, there was nothing else. Devout believer of the martial god. The judged. Quality, silver. I remained in an invisible state and faced the two believers kneeling on the ground, directly activating instant shadow slash. But it only took off 1/5 of their health. After all, they were level 10 silver bosses. Their health was more than double that of the cursor I killed earlier, even surpassing the gold tier golden ghost ship. I was about to dodge their attack, but the two devout believers kneeling on the ground turned around and started kneeling towards me. Could it be because they sensed the eye of judgment on me, so they didn't attack me? To test this theory, I tried to communicate with them. "Do you know the way? Lead the way for me." After hearing my words, the two devout believers seemed a bit lost, clearly not knowing what I was talking about. It seems they have been corrupted and eroded, all becoming mentally unstable. They've turned into beasts that only know how to plunder. Lifespan from humans. While I was deep in thought, a hint of ferocity suddenly appeared on the faces of these two devout believers. Then they suddenly turned and charged towards the entrance of this hall. Chaotic footsteps could be heard from the passage outside the hall. It seemed other players had arrived. Holy crap! It's two silver bosses. We can't even handle one, and now there are two. Run! The entire passage was now enveloped in green flames. The sounds of chaos and panicked footsteps and shouts came from within the passage. I seemed to see a familiar figure in the flames. It looked like the mature female warrior, Grey Rose, who had bought the ice spike from me. I didn't expect her to have found this faith temple as well. Unfortunately, her team wasn't strong enough. The two silver tier guards took her out. Soon, 6 pale gold lifespan orbs appeared in the passage. Not bad. This group actually dropped over 100 days of tradable lifespan. What's strange is that those two devout believers showed no interest in this lifespan at all. I ignored them and searched around the hall, but I found that there were absolutely no paths leading to other places. There's no point in exploring further. I might as well kill those two devout believers. I directly cast Hand of Greed on their corpses. In total, I obtained 32 evolution points, 1,504 days of tradable lifespan, and 4 gold tier items. There was also a gold tier item an assassin could use. Believer's Pendant. Agility plus 15. Cooldown speed plus 20%. Unique effect. Summon a silver tier devout believer to fight. Cooldown, 600 seconds. This necklace's stats are good. Mainly the 20% cooldown speed. After putting it on, Shadow Stealth's cooldown was reduced from 22.6 seconds to 19.2 seconds. Venomous Dart's cooldown was reduced from 4.3 seconds to 3.7 seconds. Instant Shadow Slash cooldown was reduced from 10.4 seconds to 8.8 seconds. Grinding monsters is now more efficient. After dealing with the loot, I was about to leave. Suddenly, a stone pillar rose from the middle of the hall's floor. It was an elevator. I immediately stepped onto it. Then, the circular stone platform took me down. Only a circular pit was left in the middle of the hall. The moment I reached the destination, 2 semicircular stone blocks immediately slid out from the side, blocking the pit in the hall. I feel like this circular stone platform carried me down at least 300 to 400 meters. When I arrived here, it was much brighter all around. This is a ruin maze. I explored many of them in my past life, so I'm quite proficient. However, there are many traps in the maze. With my current stats, if I trigger those traps, it's almost certain death. Luckily, I just got this thing. I touched the believer's pendant on my chest, then I used it on the area in front of me. Effect: summon a silver tier devout believer. A grey-skinned humanoid monster, prostrating on the ground, materialized in front of me. Scout ahead. Upon receiving my command, this devout believer began to crawl forward on all fours in front of me. Having a minion to scout the way is so relaxing. Next, I opened the skill panel, preparing to use the 32 evolution points I just got to continue evolving my skills. Considering the potential dangers in the Faith Temple, I decided to evolve the passive evasion skill, Ghostly Blur. I spent 9 evolution points to successfully evolve Ghostly Blur from Gold Tier to Epic Tier. The evasion rate increased from 15% to 75%, although I still have more than half of my evolution points left. After a skill reaches Epic Tier, the number of evolution points needed to evolve it again increases tenfold. If a skill is initially Epic Tier, then evolving it to Legendary Tier is the first evolution. The required base evolution points are 1 multiplied by 10, which is only 10 points. But if a skill is initially a normal skill, then to evolve it to Epic Tier, you have to evolve it 7 times first. By then, the required base evolution points would be 21, or even 34. Multiplying that by 10 would be 210 or even 340 points. No matter how you look at it, it's a losing deal. I can only temporarily set this skill aside. Then I put all my remaining evolution points into Instant Shadow Slash. I successfully evolved Instant Shadow Slash from Diamond to Epic. Blinking in one direction increased from a maximum of 27 meters to 30 meters. Entering an invisible state increased from 9 seconds to 12 seconds. The damage dealt to all enemies in the path increased from 7 slashes to 9 slashes. The cooldown was reduced from 12 seconds to 8 seconds. The total damage almost doubled again. Just then, from under the feet of the crawling devout believer, a sudden sound was heard. Then a large iron ball flew out from above, smashing it to pieces. I could only temporarily stop moving forward and wait for the cooldown of summoning the devout believer. This maze is complex and extremely dangerous. It's safer to let a summon scout the way, although it will waste a lot of time. This faith temple is clearly related to my Eye of Judgment. I must explore it to the end. And at this moment, at the entrance of the temple, the long-legged beauty, Grey Rose, cautiously returned to the main hall with her teammates. Just as they were preparing to deal with those 2 silver tier mini-bosses, they were stunned to find that the 2 silver tier bosses were already dead. At this stage, to be able to kill 2 silver tier bosses so quickly, it must be Master Shadow. Master Shadow actually came here. The teammates behind Grey Rose were all shocked. Only Grey Rose, looking at this scene, seemed a bit puzzled. Last time I came, I thought I saw a figure communicating with the silver boss. Could it be that Shadow has some way to confuse bosses? And at this time, after 3 hours, I had already reached the depths of the maze. Based on my experience from my past life, if it were anyone else, they would have died hundreds of times and still not made it down here. But now, with the devout believer scouting, there was no possibility of failure. I followed behind the devout believer and arrived in front of an ancient bronze door. Open the door. I gave the command to the devout believer. But even though the devout believer used all its strength, the bronze door didn't budge an inch. After confirming there was no danger around, I decided to do it myself. However, the moment I gently touched the bronze door, the ancient bronze door opened on its own. What's going on? I immediately backed away, ready for battle at any moment. But what appeared before me was a starlight hall. In the center of the hall was an altar. Next to the altar stood a woman in a white robe. Her face was covered by a white hood, so I couldn't see her appearance. I didn't enter immediately, but cautiously observed the white-robed woman from outside the door. But I found that I couldn't see any information about the woman at all. And the moment she saw me, the white-robed woman actually knelt down before me. She lowered her head, seemingly murmuring something. Starlight flickered in her hands. The next moment, her entire body dissolved into starlight and disappeared, leaving behind only a pale golden treasure chest. She disappeared. My eyes lit up. This is a golden treasure chest. It means that an epic tier item will be opened from the chest. However, I did not act rashly. I continued to command the silver tier devout believer to investigate. I had the devout believer open the treasure chest, and inside was a god tier skill, Coup de Grace. This skill has both a passive and an active effect. It means that Sh's level props will be opened in the treasure chest. As for the active effect of Coup de Grace, Throat Slit, it's even more ridiculous. It makes the user's next attack inflict the throat slit effect, dealing 100% of that attack's damage per second for 3 seconds. Simply put, it increases the next damage by an additional 3 times, and this is an initial epic tier skill. It only costs 10 evolution points to evolve it to legendary tier. This was a huge harvest. My burst damage has increased several times over. After organizing all the items, I stood on the circular stone platform in the center of the Starlight Hall. This time, it was thanks to Xiao Hei that I was able to find this ruin. I plan to sell all the remaining items I don't need to their team. When I returned to Shell Town, I immediately attracted the attention of everyone in the town. Brother Shadow, can we add each other as friends? I am the chairman of Jianghai City's Runding Group. I would like to invite you to join our group. Master Shadow, are you still looking for underlings? I can cheer for you. Master, this is my sister. No other meaning. Just want to get to know you. Seeing this scene, I immediately used invisibility and flashed 800 meters away. Then I followed Lin Liu to find Wang Mang and the others. Captain, the master is here. However, at this moment, I saw someone unexpected. I really didn't expect that Liu Ruyan would come to the God-forsaken land at this time and even join Wang Mang's team. Wang Mang and his people will probably be dragged down by her, and I need to be more careful. If people find out my real identity, it could even lead to fatal trouble. But as long as I reach level 10, I can at least extract the invisibility skill. That way, I'll have some self-protection ability in reality. Now that Liu Ruyan is in Wang Mang's team, I don't need to sell the priest equipment to them. I can't let Liu Ruyan gain any advantage. And at this moment, Liu Ruyan was looking at me with an infatuated expression. So this is Shadow. He looks so powerful. Compared to him, Wang Mang and his group are just a bunch of losers. If he can power level me, I'm afraid it won't be long before I can meet Brother Song Fei. I couldn't be bothered with her. I directly took out a pile of things from my backpack and threw them all to Wang Mang, pricing each one. These prices are all very reasonable, but Wang Mang had a bitter smile. So many silver and gold items. I can't afford them even if you sold me. I don't really mind. If you don't have it now, you can owe me for now. After all, Wang Mang is backed by the government. All these items together are only 2,200 days of lifespan. He'll be able to pay it back soon. Wang Mang thought for a moment and nodded in agreement. Thank you for your trust, Master. If there's anything you need in the future, just ask. The teammates were also amazed. Holy crap, Master Shadow is so awesome. I can actually use gold equipment this early. This gold tier skill is so cool. My damage has increased by more than 3 times, and the Master is even allowing us to pay on credit. Is this trust? Sob. At this time, Liu Ruyan's eyes were wide, but soon she was dumbfounded. Out of this huge pile of things, there wasn't a single item for her class. Soon, I received a friend request. Player Xiao Yuya has requested to add you as a friend. Hello, Master. I'm the priest in Wang Mang's team. May I ask if you have any priest equipment? I chose to ignore it directly. I didn't accept, but I didn't reject either. I activated invisibility and disappeared from everyone's sight. Liu Ruyan was left stunned. Wang Mang comforted her. Probably the Master didn't get any priest drops this time. There will be some in the future. In fact, I have a pile of priest-exclusive items in my backpack. But such precious items. How could I let Qin Xiaoyu have them for cheap? Not only will I not give her anything, I'll also find another priest to put into Wang Mang's team, and have them kick Qin Xiaoyu out. After all, I'll need to use the official channel in the future to sell large quantities of unneeded equipment and skill books. If I let Qin Xiaoyu stay in this team, it will sooner or later affect my cooperation with the officials. At this time, I had already arrived at the town plaza, preparing to teleport to Firefly Town. Firefly Town is the starter town of Liu Ruyan's idol, Song Fei. In my previous life, although it was Qin Xiaoyu who made me drink the water of wandering souls, the main culprit was still Song Fei. Qin Xiaoyu's stupidity is one thing, but this Song Fei is the one I must kill. Also, I remember Jiyu Ishue is also from Firefly Town. In my previous life, she was one of the managers of the War God Guild. Her class is 100 Birds Divine Priest, a very strong priest-type hidden class. She has 100 Birds Pet that can assist with healing and apply buffs. Although Qin Xiaoyu is also a hidden class, life ritualist, this pampered young lady doesn't know how to fight at all. But Jiyu Ishue once solo farmed an epic tier boss, a powerful existence. If I run into her, I'll pull her into Wang Mang's team. At this moment, in Firefly Town, in an invisible state, I arrived here silently. Just then, a few recently revived players were cursing. Let's go. Don't let someone else steal our kill. That silver tier boss has less than half its health left. Damn that son of a B** TCH Song Fei. He brought so many girls with him. Who the hell can compete with him? I was a bit surprised. I didn't expect to find a lead so quickly. I followed those few indignant players to a gloomy valley. This is a level 5 monster grinding area, the Withered Valley. The monsters here are the burners and the shacklers. At this moment, in the middle of the valley, a two-headed burner over 3 meters tall was spraying blood-red flames in all directions. In the field, many players were attacking the boss. Players were even attacking each other. And in the crowd, surrounded by numerous female fans, was the flamboyant Song Fei. Around Song Fei, many players tried to attack him, but they were all blocked by the girls around him. Those female fans were all ready to die for him, desperately protecting their brother Song Fei. Song Fei's game codename is God-Defying Mage. In his past life, he tricked a bunch of female fans into choosing the mage class and giving all their equipment and skills to him, allowing him to rise quickly. However, a team with only mags is not viable, so his female fans came up with a solution. Put all attribute points into spirit to become glass cannon mags. Put all attribute points into agility to become harasser mags, and also tank mags with all points in constitution. My dears, you've worked so hard. I really feel for you all. I hope the boss dies quickly, so everyone can rest. I hope the world can be filled with love, not violence. And after these female fans drank Song Fei's chicken soup, they were instantly energized like they were on steroids. They charged forward without fear of death, just to get a thank you from him. Sisters, let's push a little harder. As long as we kill this ugly monster, Brother Fei can reach number 1 on the chart. We must surpass that so-called shadow. Sisters, charge. Conquer the world, calm the storms. We stand with Brother Fei, just like that. They managed to wear the boss down to only 1/3 of its health. Song Fei was also very frustrated. Even with dozens of girls protecting him, fighting a silver tier boss was still so difficult. That shadow from Shell Town, his leveling speed completely crushed his, but solo killing a gold tier boss is just ridiculous. Shadow, that guy must have exploited some bug. But as long as I kill this silver boss, I can level up to 8. I'll surpass Shadow and become the number 1 person in the divine game. But the next second, he saw a stream of damage numbers float before his eyes. Then, his head was separated from his body. Then I killed the boss, and also cleaned up Song Fei's little fairies. You have killed the two-headed burner. Gained 1,500 experience. Killed player God-Defying Mage. You have killed player Song Fei Meow Meow. You have killed player Forever with Fei. This series of actions directly shocked all the other players around. My god, who is this person? He's too strong. Could it be Shadow? I think so too. But why would Shadow come to our Firefly town? Everyone, back off. Let the master have the boss. The solo players were very perceptive. With feelings of admiration and respect, they retreated to the back of the valley. And at this moment, Song Fei, who had respawned back in Firefly Town, was completely bewildered. Damn it, victory was in sight, and suddenly a shadow came out and killed him. There are so many starter towns in the Jiangkai City area. How did this guy end up in our Firefly Town and steal my boss? The girls who respawned after him were also on the verge of tears, chattering non-stop. Shadow, that headless man. He actually launched a sneak attack while my brother wasn't paying attention. So despicable. Just then, a girl came up to Song Fei and said with great anticipation, Brother Song Fei, my Hawkeye skill can detect invisibility. But she was quickly scorned by the other girls in the team. Go away, go away. Brother Song Fei said we only want mags. Your monster killing efficiency is too low. You'll affect my brother's ranking. After hearing this, Song Fei's eyes lit up. If Shadow can't go invisible, wouldn't he be easy to deal with? So he started his speech again. Although that's the case, family, I still believe that love can fill all gaps. Then, under the adoring gazes of many girls, he grabbed the archer's hand. I feel your strong emotions. It doesn't matter even if you're an archer. Come, let's grow together. This burst of output directly moved the girl to tears. Ah, brother, I love you. At this moment, the little fairies around who witnessed the girl's successful counterattack all volunteered eagerly. Brother Song Fei, I'm an assassin. I can go invisible too. I can give him a taste of his own medicine. Brother Song Fei, I have an area control skill, I can freeze him. Song Fei was instantly excited. Family. We are a loving big family. Anyone who wants to join can. Sob. Brother is so gentle QWQ. I'll follow Song Fei without regrets. Song Fei led his group of girls, a massive group of people, and once again headed towards the withered valley. That shadow dared to lay a hand on my brother. We must make him pay the price. Exactly. Later, we'll control Shadow and let my brother vent his anger. Let him know the consequences of messing with our brother. Many players around saw this spectacle, and kept their distance. Damn, such a big commotion. What is this little celebrity planning to do now? Hee, you don't know yet. Just now, this guy was killed and sent back from outside. Awesome. What? This guy has so many girls protecting him. How could he be killed? The opponent was Shadow. What do you think? Damn, Shadow is really awesome, but he really dares to provoke this group. I think these girls' heads are missing something. Song Fei, leading his group of girls, was now brimming with confidence. Shadow, oh Shadow, you dare to mess with me, soon I'll let you know. That being strong alone is useless, especially for a squishy little assassin. At this time, on the other side, I had just used Hand of Greed on the boss, obtained 16 evolution points, and 217 days of tradable lifespan, also, 6 silver loot items, and 1 gold loot item. Then I spent another 10 evolution points to upgrade Coup de Grace from epic to legendary. Passive effect, weak spot. Attack correction increased from 100% to 200%. This is equivalent to making the target's weak spot twice as large. If it gets any larger, half of the enemy's body could be considered a weak spot, and the active effect, throat slit, was also greatly enhanced. After using the skill, the next attack's damage increased from 100% to 150%, lasting for 3 seconds. The cooldown was reduced from 30 seconds to 25 seconds. However, upgrading the skill to the next stage costs too many evolution points. From an initial epic tier skill, it only took 10 evolution points to evolve it to legendary tier. But to go from legendary tier to mythical tier, it actually requires 200 evolution points. Now I only have 8 evolution points left. I put them all into backstab, evolving it from gold tier to platinum tier. Damage increased by 10%. Roughly calculating, this boss and these experience fodder like Song Fei yielded a total of over 1,400 days of tradable lifespan. After organizing my supplies, I was about to head back to town. Just then, an assassin suddenly charged at me. However, I dodged with a simple sidestep, and then entered an invisible state. Seeing this, the assassin immediately shouted, "Attack!" At this moment, hiding on the valley cliff above, Song Fei's group of girls suddenly appeared. The archer in the team immediately shot an arrow at me. They thought they could easily take me down, but they didn't expect that. This kind of low-level skill was useless against me. In just one encounter, I had wiped out his entire group of girls. Looking at Song Fei hiding behind the cliff wall, I smiled. At this moment, he was still muttering, "How did my group of girls disappear in an instant?" And I had already invisibly approached his ear. "Song Fei, you are already dead." "Who?" Song Fei was startled. He turned his head but didn't see anyone. Although he managed to cast a magic shield on himself in time, it was still no match for my high damage. A large sphere of tradable lifespan orb instantly burst out from the ground. It was a total of over 2,000 days. What's strange is that those girls around didn't drop a single day of tradable lifespan. Did they give all their lifespan to Song Fei? Could it be that some people still think the divine game is just a game? At this moment, Song Fei had revived and returned to the newbie town, looking like he was constipated. Dying twice in a row made him extremely angry. He then looked at the archer girl who revived beside him. "Didn't you activate Hawkeye? Why didn't you see him approach?" The girl was also completely bewildered. "I did activate Hawkeye, but there was no one in my field of vision." The short-haired girl next to her weakly said, "I saw in my attribute panel that there's something called invisibility level. Could it be that Shadow's invisibility level is higher?" The archer girl immediately nodded. "I have it here too. My Hawkeye skills detection level is 1. I can only see targets with level 1 invisibility. If the opponent has a level 2 or higher invisibility level, I can't see them." The case is finally solved. This made Song Fei's scalp tingle. This damned shadow comes and goes like a ghost. How can I possibly defend against him? And when I returned to the town square, I couldn't find Song Fei anywhere. After some inquiries, I found out they had gone to practice elsewhere. Master, Song Fei and his group went that way. Hurry up and kill him. But I have one request. When you kill Song Fei later, can you spare my girlfriend? Her name is Iji Fei Baomiao. She's a female hunter. I suggest you get a new girlfriend. Then, before the Pure Love warrior could speak, I had already disappeared from his sight. But the map is so big, I really can't find Song Fei and his group for a while. Just then, a familiar figure suddenly flashed past my eyes. Jiyu Ishue. In my previous life, she was one of the core managers of the War God Guild I founded. But now, she doesn't know me. I deactivated my invisibility and walked up to her. Beauty, could you help me with something? Your shadow? Jiyu Ishue's small mouth was slightly agape, a look of pleasant surprise on her face. I nodded. I didn't waste time with her. I heard your class can search for targets over a large area. Find me where Song Fei is. As a reward, I'll sell you this gold tier staff for a cheap price. When Jiyu Ishue saw the gold tier priest staff before her, her eyes instantly lit up. Yes, yes. Then, I sold her the staff at the bargain price of 500 days. Looking at the gold tier priest staff she had obtained so easily, she suddenly started giggling foolishly. Get to work. I reached out and tapped her on her little head. The little girl snapped out of her daze, not the least bit embarrassed. She waved her hand. And the white little owl perched on her shoulder flew into the sky. I knew that. She had switched her perspective to her white bird. The white bird soared in the sky, taking in the entire area around Firefly Town, a radius of about 10 kilometers. And with Song Fei bringing so many girls, the target was very obvious. Soon, I learned Song Fei's location. Then I added Jiyu Ishue as a friend, and asked her to continue keeping an eye on their position. I went alone to find Song Fei. Under Jiyu Ishue's remote guidance, I arrived at a forest, and at this moment, a mark on a tree caught my attention. I immediately sent a private message to Jiyu Ishue, asking her to help me see if there were any other such large trees around. 3 seconds later, I received the locations of all the marked large trees. The other 2 similar large trees nearby were both within 100 meters of me. I walked to one of the trees and pressed the symbol. Then I walked to the other 2 and did the same. At this moment, the special symbols on the trees lit up. Between the 3 large trees, an emerald-colored treasure chest faintly appeared. My luck is good. I didn't expect to encounter a God's blessing in the starter village. God's blessing can appear anywhere in the godforsaken land. Basically, they are just some strange symbols. Like the symbols on the 3 large trees now, there are 3 types in total. By lighting up different symbols on each large tree, the combined effect is different. Some even summon evil monster lairs. There are also some unique rewards. When the emerald tier treasure chest in front of me materialized, I reached out and opened it directly. This scene made Jiyu Ishue, who was looking down from above, her eyes turn red with envy. An emerald tier treasure chest. This one chest must be worth at least 1,000 days of lifespan. Wouldn't that be tens of millions of RMB? Many people outside are now buying lifespan. According to my memory from my past life, the ratio for tradable lifespan on the first day is generally between 1:10,000 and 1:20,000. You have opened an emerald tier treasure chest, obtained the emerald tier skill book, Flower Bloom Curse. Can be used on the corpse of a player who has died within 15 seconds. It will cause a curse flower to grow on the enemy's corpse. The curse flower will continuously absorb the target's tradable lifespan until the target's tradable lifespan reaches 0. No cooldown. After reading this skill description, I immediately took a sharp breath. This skill is too broken. Under normal circumstances, when a player is killed, they will drop half of their tradable lifespan. But with this skill, every time, I can make the enemy drop all of their tradable lifespan. I just need to guard the enemy's corpse, and let the curse flower absorb all of the opponent's tradable lifespan. Song Fei's good days are here. After cleaning up the battlefield, I continued to run towards Song Fei's position. At this time, Song Fei and his group of girls were besieging a bronze boss. After running so far to a place without me, His mood was great every day. He vowed to grind here until he was number 1 in the entire server and then get revenge on me. However, the next second, I had already arrived beside him. You are already dead. Seeing this scene, the surrounding group of girls all broke down, shouting that they would fight me to the death. However, at this moment, a blood-colored flower grew on Song Fei's corpse. Song Fei, who had revived and returned to the town, was completely devastated. Now he was finally sure that I had come to Firefly Town specifically to find him. Could it be that the woman he was simping for was my fan? What does that have to do with me? Song Fei couldn't help but think this, and he was on the verge of tears. But soon, the constantly flashing notification box made him break out in a cold sweat. He originally had 860 days of lifespan. Dying and losing half should leave him with 430 days. But why does he have less than 400 days left now? And it's still constantly decreasing. Song Fei watched helplessly as his tradable lifespan dropped from 390 days to 380 days, and then to 370 days. What the hell is going on? Soon, the girls around him were also killed and sent back. They all panicked and said, brother, it's bad. That shadow cast a skill, and a blood-red flower appeared on your corpse. Brother, it seems to be absorbing your lifespan. Brother, hearing this, Song Fei took a sharp breath. A flower grew on my corpse, and that flower is sucking my lifespan. Realizing something was wrong, he immediately chose to log off, and at this moment, I looked at the system notification and was a bit speechless. Due to the player killing other players excessively, current Slayer level is 4. Upon death, drop 96.875% of current lifespan. To put it bluntly, if I die once, I will drop almost all of my tradable lifespan. And this scene was also seen by Jiu Ishua from the sky. Wow. So this is Shadow's power. He wiped out Song Fei's entire group by himself. And what's with those red flowers on the corpses? They look so creepy. Her delicate body under the white robe couldn't help but shiver. Soon, I returned to the plaza of Firefly Town and found Jiu Ishua. This skill book is worth 500 days of lifespan. But if you promise me one thing, I can sell it to you for half price. Jiu Ishua took 2 steps back in fear. Master, I don't sell my body. This left me speechless. What on earth are you thinking about all day? I want you to join my friend's team. I was naturally talking about Wang Mang, Lin Liu, and the others. To get Liu Ruyan out of the team, I naturally had to put a powerful priest-type player into their team. Jiu Ishua was a perfect fit. She tilted her head, considered for a moment, and said, okay. But if they're too weak, I'm going to complain to you, Master. After settling things with Jiu Ishua, I started contacting Wang Mang. Wang Mang, I have someone here, a hidden class, 100 Birds Divine Priest. She's pretty strong. Does your team want her? I thought it would take some persuasion, but to my surprise, Wang Mang agreed immediately. After spending so many days together, he had had enough of Liu Xiaoyan. No matter how simple the task, she could mess it up for you. Wang Mang carefully chose his words. Xiaoyan, there are too many people in Shell Town now. We're going to a different place to level up. At your current level, it would be very dangerous to go, so we won't be taking you. Liu Xiaoyan wanted to insist, but Wang Mang and the others had already started running, afraid she would catch up. You want to ditch me? Just say so. It just so happens I've had enough of you newbies too. I'm going to find Master Shadow to carry me. At this time, in Firefly Town, Jiu Ishua and I soon waited for Wang Mang and his 3 teammates. As soon as they met, Wang Mang initiated a trade with me. He gave me 800 days of lifespan. I still owe you 500 days of lifespan from last time. Our captain and will give it to you when she arrives. This game's lifespan is really hard to earn. Captain An. I nodded and accepted the 800 days of lifespan. Then I pulled Jiu Ishua over. She's Snowy Day. His Wang Mang. You guys can get to know each other. Just then, a beautiful figure teleported over. I was a bit surprised. It really isn't you. The unique hidden class, Dragon Swordswoman. In my previous life, she was a top 20 powerhouse in the world. She was also one of the pillars of the Daxia government. But I remember in my previous life, Wang Mang wasn't in the same team as her. I was only stunned for a moment, and that beautiful and graceful figure had already arrived in front of me. Master Shadow. Wow, it's really you. A pleasure to meet you. My name is Anu. I'm a big fan of yours. Anu extended her hand with an adoring look. This was the first time I had met a powerhouse who was ranked above me in my past life. Seeing Anu's adoring look now, I still felt a bit unaccustomed, but considering that Anu is just a level 5 newbie right now, I felt relieved. Master Shadow, your development speed is too fast. Do you have some kind of trick? Then she extended her hand to me again, transferring 500 days of lifespan to me. This is what Wang Mang owes you. If you have any equipment in the future, Master, feel free to sell it to us. We'll take anything. Also, all the lifespan of our Jianghai city officials is on me. You wouldn't kill me, would you, Master? This girl seems naturally dazed, but she's actually very smart. And at this moment, Liu Ruyan, who had logged off and returned to reality, received a piece of news that shocked, and was difficult for her to accept.